Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. It's a nice sunny day and we're currently in Bristol. Yeah, we're in Filton, I believe. This video is going to cover us actually getting to the motorway, going on a slip road. Now for a lot of people, motorways are a bit scary, so this video serves a good purpose for both car drivers and motorcycle riders. Yes, motorways can be a little bit daunting, and we have covered motorway etiquette on previous videos, but we haven't really done one for nervous drivers. Now, my wife is a nervous driver, and I can understand why you'd be a bit nervous. I mean, look at all this. It's shenanigans, isn't it? Like, you got to be in the right lane, got to be paying attention to all the traffic lights, etc. You got to know where to turn, etc., etc. It can be a little bit, look, that's a yellow light there. We could have slammed our brakes, but yellow is prepared to stop. Should have stopped, really. It's all about committing to what you're doing and doing it safely. But riding and driving on a motorway can be a little bit arduous, and we're just going to go through the process now, show you. So we're in Bristol. We're going to be turning into, I believe it's I want to say it's junction 19. We're turning off junction 19 and we're going to go southbound down towards Exeter area. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video, and I'm going to be catching every single moment for you guys and just discussing what to do whilst on the motorway, what to look out for whilst on the motorway. Right, so now we're going onto the slip, onto the motorway. We want to start gradually increasing our speed. As you can see, we want to start matching speed with the oncoming traffic. Someone's let us go, we check, signal, there we are, we're on the motorway. This is now the motorway. This is what a lot of people believe to be a very scary road. Now, we're in the left lane. Left is best. You hear that throughout your car, you know, car lessons. I've never had any, well, I've had one. You hear it, you know, during your motorcycle lessons. Left is best. Left isn't best if you want to move, though. Let's say that we're now currently in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. This is national speed limit road now. There is no signs on the overhead gantry stating otherwise, so we're okay to increase our speed. We're increasing our speed now, and we're gonna start overtaking. So we want to do signal, move into the middle. So we're in the middle now, and we're ready to go. Now, obviously, pay attention to your signage. Pay attention to what's what, pay attention to speed. Obviously, if the overhead gantry signs are stating it's 60, it is 60. If it's got a circle, it's 60. It means you cannot go above 60. There is no overhead gantry sign stating otherwise. Everyone is doing the national speed limit at the minute on the motorway. Now, this part of the motorway near Bristol does tend to get average speed checks / variable speed limits. Variable speed limits change due to congestion. We'll see some variable speed limits on this motorway because it's part and parcel of riding this stretch of the M5. Now, the M5 actually, generally speaking, has less of these sorts of, it's not really a smart motorway. A little bit of it is smart towards the middle of it, towards near Bristol Gloucester area, but the rest of it is all pretty much, see, variable speed limit ends, is all pretty much normal. Now, what I mean by normal is it's pretty much, the M5 is a lawless place where you know, you don't have to, you can switch off a little bit on the M5 because there's not much going on. If you're on the M4 or the M6 or something like that, you're going to see there's a lot of variable speed limits and variable speed checks and all that. So we're gonna, now we've got some space, we've obviously caught up to speed, we can move into the left area now because we're all good to go. That's basically it. You know, there's no traffic within the left, although obviously you can see this truck up here. We're fast approaching it even at our 67 miles an hour, so we'll have to start maneuvering and thinking about moving back into the middle. Check. Whereas, well, this guy is coming up fast on us. There you go. That guy came out of nowhere. He went from the third lane into the middle lane for no particular reason. Don't know why he did that, but that's why we do our checks, because we saw him coming, but we're still committed. Now we're going to go into the left to let this, obviously, this impatient driver pass us, and he's going to start. We'll slow down a little bit so he can get in front of us, so he's not a hazard to us. Van drivers, eh? Now, brake lights, brake lights on the motorway. You see, as soon as you start seeing brake lights ahead, chances are something's happened, you know. So you've got to be careful. People are slowing down at this section now. So again, we're going to go into the middle, check. There you go. It's as simple as that. I like doing these motorway riding videos because something I actually excel at is motorway riding. I don't have a car license. I've said this before in other videos. I've got a full motorcycle license, but I do feel comfortable on the motorway. The motorway for me is one of the easiest roads to drive in the sense that I just know, you know, it's just a straight line. You can't really f it up, can you? But obviously motorways are scary places for people. You can feel like you're boxed in. People, for instance, he'll start moving maybe into the middle, and then all of a sudden you got to slow down slightly. You feel pressured, but there's not that pressure. It's riding at your own pace, riding to the limits, riding to the speed limit. And obviously people do drive in excess of the speed limit on the motorway, especially on the lawless part of the M5. It's junction 18 now, so I was right, we were at junction 19. And you know, a few things happen to you on the motorway. You know, you can get a little bit distracted as a driver. As a rider you can as well, to be fair. I mean, in the sense that you can get a bit bored. If it's raining, the visibility can be terrible on the motorway. If you're riding or driving in the rain, lots of spatter, lots of like, it's horrible. So motorways can be dangerous, they definitely can, but they are technically the safest roads in the country because they are simple. And we are all simple folk, aren't we? We all strive for simplicity in life, and riding and driving is one of those things. We want it to be simple, and there's hardly any turns on the motorway, so you're just cruising. It's a cruising, sort of like relaxing, pay attention, but you've always got to be looking at everything that's happening on the motorway. You'll always be aware of what you're doing. And you know, for instance, we're going below the speed limit here, but that's just because we're making a video. Usually if I'm riding on the motorway, I'm probably traveling at the max speed that I legally can at all times, because you're trying to make progress, aren't you? You're trying to make progress, and that's that. So let's increase our speed a bit and start playing around with our lane positioning. Now we're going to go over this bridge. Now as a car this won't be an issue for you, but you know, bridges on motorways for motorcycles can be a little bit daunting because it can be a bit windy. You get people sidling up beside you. You know, it can be a bit scary, but you just got to persevere, push through it, stand firm, make sure that you're in control of the bike whilst you're on the bridge, because you'll get a lot of either side wind or headwind. Today's is more a bit of tailwind, so that's fine. So what we want to do is we want to get out of this situation, so we're going to go into the third lane, then we're going to go into the fourth lane. We don't need to turn at this because obviously people start congregating near exits and junctions, so they're looking for the slip road. These guys are looking for the slip road. That guy just in front of us just put his lights, his indicators on. I could see it, so it's all about reading what people are likely to do. He's thinking exactly the same thing as me. I'm getting out of this congestion because people are just slowing down because they're either A, thinking about turning off, or B, conserving fuel. So people do that. We don't need to be in this area, so we can start travelling at the legal speed limit, which is 70 miles an hour. I've discussed this previously on my other videos, but my speedometer is off, so my 70 miles an hour is around 74, 75 miles an hour on the screen. As you can see, GPS speed currently is 66, but on the screen it's 68. It's now 64, it's 68. So we're about 4 or 5 miles an hour off. Now, riding on the motorway, I was going to go into the middle, but we got someone coming up on us to do an undertake. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed up slightly, just to match the speed on the third. Let him go in there, and then we will go into here, so he can overtake us legally. There you go. That's just courtesy. That's a bit of a courtesy drive there for you guys. You do things like that if you notice people are going to undertake you, just to try and make it easier for them. You know, make sure that you're not hogging up third, middle, secondary lanes that you don't need to. Now, going into this lane here is a bit dangerous for a motorcycle because you're obviously going to be riding right next to trucks and buses and big large goods vehicles. Obviously if you're on a big bike, That's not too bad. Obviously what you want to do is you want to position yourself more into position 3, so more next to the markings. Obviously exposes you a little bit to dangers on that side, but you do not want to be by any means harassed by the wind that's going to be coming and buffeting off that truck, which just did my back end in slightly there. So you got to make sure you start accelerating as you ride past. So slow down slightly as you're overtaking to match the truck speed, then start gradually climbing up, so it gives you a little bit more velocity, a little bit more of a pinning movement as you're overtaking, so you're not at risk. And it's pretty simple. Riding and driving the motorway requires a lot of concentration and a lot of reading the road, a lot of hazard perception. So you've got that car up there, got its lights, just move slightly out of the way just in case the car door comes flying open and takes you out. Riding on a motorcycle on the motorway is, I don't know, I'd imagine a little bit more engaging than driving a car, because obviously when you're turning and going from first lane, second lane, third lane, you know, you're literally moving your body, so you can sort of like, you know, if you're flagging a little bit, you can start moving into secondary lanes just to keep yourself awake. You don't have to go at full speed all the time, you can slow down. So in the left lane I like to slow down a little bit, so I'm just cruising, I'm matching the speed. You've always got to match the speed of whatever lane you're in. Obviously the middle lane is going to be faster than the left lane. Now we're currently riding over Gordano, mountainous area of the M5, where they smashed that Gordano slope / cliff with dynamite all those years ago to create this part of the glorious M5. It's one of my favourite parts of the M5. I love the view, I love the hairpin bend here. I don't like coming in northbound, but I like going southbound on it. It's good fun. Northbound it can get a bit touchy down there. The surface ain't great. And obviously up here, if you're riding at full pelt, you know, you're going to be next to the guardrails. It can be a bit disconcerting on a motorbike, because you just, you know, your mind automatically thinks, oh, what if I smashed into there and it went flying? Of course you do. Of course you think that. So that's how brains work. Brains always like, what would happen if you went flying into that guardrail and flew off? It's such a drop as well. It'd be like a 100-meter drop to your death. Not only would you die on impact, you die again when you land. You die on impact on the barrier and you die when you land. That's how treacherous that part of the M5 is. But yeah, enough of that. It's just always being aware. Obviously, you know, as I said, guardrail there, you don't want to be anywhere near it. There's going to be a lot of debris there as well. There's no sort of hard shoulder, no reservation, no central reservation. It's just gunk everywhere there. So we're still in the third lane because we are moving faster than most traffic. As you can see, there's a bottleneck there, so you slow down slightly, hit your brakes so the guy behind you knows you're not going to see whether this guy's going to come out or not. He's not. It looks like he's going to let us go, so we start to feather the throttle a little bit more. Let's go, and we leave this area of risk, because it's risky. It's risky on the third lane, I think, of a motorcycle. You don't know if someone in the second lane is going to come flying out at you. Right, now we can go back into the left, because left is best. So obviously these two lanes here are the overtaking lanes. You should only really be in those lanes if you're overtaking. Now something can happen on a motorway where you do find yourself in the middle lane, and that's only because everyone's moving so slow on the left lane, but everyone's moving a little bit too fast on the right lane. So the middle lane is the only lane that's going the legal speed limit, really. The rest of them all either going below it or far above it. So I don't like to be in the right hand lane too much. Right, now so we've got this 50 mile an hour speed limit that's just come up. Now that is an advisory speed limit. That is not a mandatory speed limit. That is a caution. We've got something going on up here. I know what it is, it's just congestion. So basically what it is on that bridge there's an incline on the way up to Gordano that has, on that side, that has workmen on that side. So they've slowed it down, but they haven't coned off this side of the motorway. So it is always good to obviously do slow down, but you don't, it's not a legal speed. It's not like a mandatory circular, this is the speed you got to go. It's a flashing advisory, you know, this is the speed limit, you know, the advised speed limit due to, and as you can see there's nothing going on. So I don't know why it's flashing. This part of the M5, it's always that, it always flashes in that area for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's a turn off from Western Supermare. It can get very hectic and very congested during this time of the day slash any time of the day. So now, as you can see, we're in the middle lane. We're middle lane in it. We are what the police refer to as lane hogging, but we're not. We're not technically lane hogging. We're going 69 miles an hour, and he's got his brakes on. This is why you always need to pay attention. He's got his brakes on again. So what's going on in front? So let's get out of this danger and get. He's on his phone. Oh no, there is something going on. I'm actually glad this has happened, because this would be perfect for my motorcycle brethren. Now, what to do as a motorcyclist in this situation as it's slowing down? Filter, that's what you do. So you do not want to be stuck behind slow moving car exhausts. There's usually enough room for you to filter. People do tend to leave you room. I've got enough room. You take it, you take that, you take it and you filter. You get out of the situation. There's going to be a rolling brigade if something's happened. So that advisory was a warning of something down the line here. So I'm actually quite happy, because this actually covers quite a big part of motorway riding on a motorcycle, and that is what to do in slow moving traffic. Your head has got to be on a swivel in slow moving traffic. You have got to be on your game to be able to filter through this sort of traffic. Now, you got 3 lorries up above there and a white transit van. You do not filter in the middle of that. You wait until you get a bit of headway, because that lorry can't see you. You do not want to be threading the needle there. So what you want to do is you want to be moving. So you're overtaking either the van or the lorry. So you find the fastest section of the motorway, of the lane, and you go into it, because you do not want to be threading the needle between there. That is a bad idea. So all it takes is a lorry to slightly turn when you're filtering, and you are squashed. Never ever ever by any circumstance filter. Don't get too excited now and filter too quickly, because what if everything comes to a stop? There you go. Look, now you can do it. Right, caravans, motorcyclist's best friend. Let's squeeze. You can't do this in a car, so this isn't very informative to car drivers. Car drivers, they wish they could do this, but they can't. So yeah, this big part of motorcycle riding on the motorway is filtering through dead-end traffic. Obviously there's been a crash, so it doesn't really matter. All you're going to do is you're going to get to the front, and there'll be a rolling blockade, and you have to stop anyway. So it doesn't matter at all what you do. Filtering in these conditions, it looks like it will come to a standstill, so I do believe that something's happened, some sort of crash. And if that is the case, you'll be stuck on the motorway like everyone else, no matter if you're a car, lorry, motorcycle. You get to the front, congratulations, you're now waiting for a bit of time. You now got a front row seat to whatever's going on. So now I do believe this could be an accident, so we'll see. It does look like it. I can see flashing lights in the distance, but no one's stopping, so it might just be a lane closure. If you're in a car, you're pretty much pooped. You just got to go with what everyone else is doing. Yeah, there you go. See the police. There might be a rolling blockade. We'll just stay behind them. In the interest of not making this a really long, boring video, that is my tips on riding in the motorway. And for a nervous rider, is just obviously pay attention to what you're doing, respect all traffic laws and rules, be observational, project what you're about to do, etc, etc. Until the next time, I have been the Hungry Hornet. You've been incredible. Peace.